Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Hino and I just got done recording a stream, so here I am. And we're going to go ahead and record the next installment of Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut, as you can see. Now, if you remember, we left off with having finished up the milk run, which wasn't so much a milk run. Monica died, and the team's not so happy. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Kreese Bazaar, which is where we were headed, which is our home base. So let's go ahead and head out that way. There's a crazy bug there on the ground. Hi, bug. How you doing? Destroy all humans. That's a great sentiment. Not sure how I feel about that one. Let's see if I can turn this down just a little bit, actually. Okay, that's better. Alright. Looks like we got somebody to talk to. There's also he wants to talk to us. You step inside, and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Paul Amsel is his name, apparently. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face. Light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses, Paul Amsel, your team's fixer and landlord, part dealmaker, part information broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin. A fixer, by the way, is like a guy who finds contracts for you and things like that. He's the guy that gets you your jobs. So apparently he's a pretty good one. Except for the last mission. His eyes sweep across the team as he takes it all in. The grim faces, the hard stares, Igor's fury, Monica's absence. I had a feeling. How did she? His face has gone ashen. He swallows, takes a moment to chew on the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? And I have a couple of options here. Something in the vault security system. When was it set up? I'm going to go with the vault security system, so he has a little bit more information. I've seen Monica hit black ice before. This was something worse. Black icy or ice. It's like a super virus, if I understand correctly. Really hurts you. Glory nods, her motions robotic and spare. Monica died of a biofeedback-induced stroke. That's right. Igor thrust the glove finger into your chest, and this idiot stood by and let it happen. I have a couple options here. I'm going to ignore her finger. I don't want to make her more angry than necessary. Yeah, because you never bothered learning what to look for. Muscle contractions and microtremors are good indicators of a Decker in distress. I'm assuming you didn't have anyone keeping an eye out for those. No, if you had, my friend wouldn't be lying dead in a basement. Oh, shove off, Igor. We were all on the lookout for physical security, Holo included. Throwing him under the bus isn't going to help anything. Under a bus is exactly where he belongs. Igor turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich. You know that, but you don't have my training. None of you have. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough, and you're gonna get burned. Igor turns her focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured all of this out on your own by now. You'd have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Enough, Igor. Amsel's voice is harsh, his expression blank. Enough. Igor pushes ahead, heedless of the interruption. Her voice remains measured, but there's fire in her eyes. How many seconds passed between Monica's first convulsion and her plug getting pulled? 4? 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? Here I don't. How dare you, or look, this won't. Go ahead and go with look, this won't. You don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your That is enough! Amsel's voice comes out in a roar, and his fist smashes down on the desk behind him. Igor, you and Holo can have it out later, but I've had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he'd led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This was supposed to be a milk run. Payback isn't the only reason why we need to find him. We saw something back there, something that we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume that we are all still in danger. He pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed. And we need to neutralize that threat, that danger. We need to know who we are dealing with. Sorry, tripping over my words a little bit there. I think I need a drink, all these grumbly voices. Sorry about that. Let's review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. Alright, so we have the option to tell them that the state was a front, that we were confronted by the orc, that douchebag who ran away, or Monica lived long enough. I'm going to tell him about that first. Amsel seems taken aback. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Fire Wing. This is unexpected. You'll have to forgive me. This brings back many unpleasant memories. Glory raises an eyebrow. The Fire Wing? The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. He glances at Glory. You are far too young to remember her, of course, but for Germans of my generation, the name Fürschwing is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Fürschwing was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Amsel takes a deep breath, slowly releases it. There is a haunted look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation, and no end in sight. It was a horror that you cannot begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine that a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually, the Fire Wing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course. But it was experimental weapons designed by Dr. Vauclair that finally pierced her hide. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire, and crashed down in the radioactive wasteland of the Sox. This event was called the Dragonfall. Hey, they shout out to the name of the game. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Vauclair as a hero. Our own Siegfried, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. If the Dragonfall was as important an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised that I've never even heard of it. Those early years of the Awakening were traumatic, Eager. Not just on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, a new source of terror for a bewildered public, and in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and the Fire Wing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all of this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Fürschwing is a bit of historical trivia, and nothing more. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Eager sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Amsel's voice trembles with frustration. No, it doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall is ancient history. Fürschwing has been dead and gone for 42 years. But there's one thing that I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, then slowly releases it. I will look into this, and I will find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? We're going to go and tell him about the estate being in front. Amsel nods. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. That facility took serious funds to build. And time. There was more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. And, all in secret, the owner, whoever they may be, were none too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? After everything went to heck, we were confronted by an orc in a military-grade armor. He appeared to be the head of security. That is not much to go on. Do any details about this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that I could look into? He was an older guy, for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an old orc. And he'd had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. That is something. I will see what I can find out. Did you note anything else during the run that may be of value? That's all we got. That's not much. Amsel nods. His face is drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, and a long-forgotten world event. Let's go ahead and go with this one. No, this one. You haven't said anything about our client yet, Paul. You holding out on us? Amsel shakes his head, wearily. No, Holo. I am not holding out. I am tired, and I am frustrated, and I already miss Monica. He takes a moment. I did not think to mention our employer because I did not set up the job. Monica did. His face reddens. I warned her. I told her not to take this run, but she assured me it would be a cakewalk. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-state political scene. I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for her cause. Anything for the Flux state. He sighs. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux. And that was all it took. It sounds like Green Winters is our best lead, then. Yes, most definitely. It is clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. Green Winters, judging by the name, is probably an elf. They tend to have names like that. Just FYI. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably gonna rabbit. We need to chase him down before that happens. So we need information on Green Winters, and we need it fast. There is a man here in the Kreese Bazaar, a Turk named Altug Barakgazi. He owns a little soy calf shop just down the way called Cafe Kizve. This man is also a purveyor of information. I have done business with him from time to time. Just so you guys know, soy, kind of what everything except for like the super expensive items are made of in the future. Just because it's so cheap to produce. Like real milk is super rare because most of the cows are dead. And caffeine and things like that, they integrate those with the soy. And you think he would know something about Green Winters? Amsel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Altug. Altug, I don't know how to pronounce that name. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. Well, it looks like he did do his job in his defense. He wasn't the one that sent us on it, and he did his due diligence to follow up on it. But, I mean, I can't really say that I'm surprised. Monica doesn't seem like the type of person who would have let anybody stop her from doing something that she set her mind to. As I said, I did not trust the man. For good reason, it would seem. I'll talk to Altug and see what he knows about Green Winters. Or, actually, I'm going to go with best to be cautious in our line of work. Should I go meet with Altug then? Yes, tell him I sent you. I'll do what I can to dig into the information that you've uncovered already. Sparse, though it may be. Sparse, though it may be. Alright, so I gained some karma, which means that we can go ahead and level up. Let's do that. Alright, let's see what options we got. Spend karma. Alright. So we've got the shotgun already. So I'm going to put some more points into that. Aimed shot would be incredibly useful for me right now. I'm having some serious issues hitting. Although, you know what? Actually, I think I might take us away from the shotgun. We already are going to have a katana. We're going into close combat. Or some other close combat weapon. And we could use a little bit of range. We're having some problems hitting people further away. So I think I'm actually going to start taking us down rifle. I think that'll help us out more in the long run. Yeah, we lost a skill point, or karma point, but in the end, that's not too bad. And I think we might save up a little bit and start getting some more charisma here, because I would like to start getting some better options in conversations and things like that, or more etiquettes, I should say. I think that we get another etiquette here. Actually, yeah, so we'll get a new etiquette the second that we buy another one of those, but it costs 4. So I'm actually going to buy this, and then I'm going to buy a point and rifle, and then I'm going to buy that point and rifle, and I think we're going to end up saving the karma point again. Let's see, spellcasting, no, we don't need that. Spirit summoning, nope. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just keep it at where we are. So we're going to go ahead and confirm this. Awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to some people. There is a tiger, I think. I'm not looking forward to the talk with Eager, wherever she may have gone. I'm going to go ahead and talk with Dietrich, just so I can stretch my vocal cords more. Speaking of which, Dietrich turns his head at your approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all of this, there is still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Hello, welcome. I've got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing, and we've got a fallen comrade to drink to. I'm going to go ahead and take the bottle to Monica. Prost! The liquor in the bottle is crystal clear, and as you raise it, you catch an intoxicating whiff of cloves and caramel. It tastes of sweet corn and walnuts, with a lingering aftertaste of buttery toffee. You swallow a swig, then return the bottle to Dietrich's outstretched hand. He takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Holo. What made you choose to come to Berlin? I'm gonna go with I had my reasons. Or actually, yeah, I had my reasons. Such as? Come on, boss. I'm just trying to figure out who I'm working for here. I think I deserve to know that much. I'm gonna go with, no, that's not very much information. I'm gonna go with a member of my old crew betrayed me. That's what happened. I was working as a CEO, and that fell out. And then I started becoming a runner. It went bad, so I moved to here. Ain't that a pisser? I can handle all sorts of things, but betrayal always makes me see red. Well, so now we have a choice, and these may come up in the game, I don't know. So we have the option with the first one to say that he got away. We have the option with the second one that he did not. We killed him. Or I can give him an out where it wasn't his fault. There are extenuating circumstances. If he didn't do what he did, his family would have paid the price. That one seems interesting, but I kind of want the possibility that he might come back later. I'm going to go ahead and go with, yeah, I know the feeling. I tried to make him answer for it, but the punk got away. The piece of dreck cut and run, huh? That's rough, friend. Dietrich takes another swig from his bottle, then shrugs. So, he got away. But who knows, right? Maybe he'll catch up with him someday. So after all this went down, you decided to bail out of the Ruplex and head to Berlin? Am I getting that right? More or less, there wasn't much. Monica made us a heck of an offer. There's a bit more to it than that. No offense, Dietrich, if I gotta run. We're gonna go with that one. The more or less, Monica made us an offer. Yes, Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again. Then, wait, I'm reading that in Dietrich voice. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After the moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. It all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know that you two knew each other way back, but she was pretty coy about these things. We're treading into dangerously personal territory here. Are we? Sorry about that. Never been much for boundaries. All the same, I'd like if you tell me. Dietrich shrugs. I always intended to get to know Monica better, but it's too late to ask her in person. Knew Monica well enough to know what you mean. She did have a mysterious way about her. So what was the deal between the two of you? Don't leave me in suspense. Were we business associates? Nothing more. Were we friends? Or were we very close? You know what? Flip a coin. Let's do that. I don't want to be business associates. That's boring. So I'm going to flip a coin. Heads, we were friends. Tails, we were very close. Well, dang it. I can't flip a coin, guys. I fail at this. There we go. Tails. I think that's why I said we were very close. I realized when I flipped the coin that I really wanted it to be we were very close, so it's going to be that. Dietrich nods. Figured as much. Not from anything you or Monica said. I just had a suspicion. Well, anyway, good on you both. Dietrich raises his bottle to you in a salute. She was a wonderful woman, and I hope that your time together was happy. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time, and the bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull on the bottle, then tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. Sad. Let's talk to the dog, or whatever. As you start towards the safe house door, a large four-legged form steps around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog, an enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Oh, he knows Monica's dead, and he's sad. Aw, crap. Dante. Dietrich shakes his head. Don't worry, boy. We'll look after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Amsel's eyes well up. He inhales, but can't quite catch his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago. Turned into a full-blown howl. Wouldn't stop. He closes his eyes. That's when I realized something bad had happened. Looking down into those huge... Oh my gosh, that's so sad! Look at those eyes! Oh my gosh, that's so depressing! I've betrayed and failed this dog! Oh my gosh. Where's my dog? I need to give her a big pet. After this episode, I'm going to give her a big hug. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Oh my gosh. Oh. I'm going to give him a toy. Dante takes the treat in his mouth, but it's clear he has no appetite for it, and the jerky drops to the floor. He leans into you and looks up mournfully, pressing his ribs against your leg. I guess the dog is going with you, Holo. Amsel takes a ragged breath and releases it. Then a slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you're finished with it. Alt good, mein Freund. With a little luck, he can help us. Locate Green Winters, and we can get to the bottom of this. He stares at the floor. And now, I think we should all take a moment. His lips tighten. For Monica. I'll take a moment. Over there. Oh, the dog's following me now. He's my new best friend. Up there's Eager. What's this? I can't. There we go. Oh, it's some weapons and stuff. I have nothing in here. Eventually. I will have stuff in there. It's probably Monica's room. Alright. It's time to talk to Eager. Not really looking forward to this. Eager glares at you, and you can taste the bile in her stare. She clearly still blames you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? I'm gonna go with you're wrong about me, Eager. I intend to prove that to you. She stares at you for a moment, then looks away. Best of luck with that, Holo. Now please, leave me alone. I'm gonna go ahead and give her space. I'm gonna step away, as you wish. Hopefully that'll get her a little bit of respect from me. It's gonna be an uphill battle with her. Gloria is beautiful, in a wet wayfish sort of way. Her features are almost elvish in their delicacy, but there's something cold about her that you find unsettling, slightly unsettling. What's more unsettling is her chrome. Gloria is rocking a heavy loadout of cyberware. From head to toe, she looks to be composed more of plastic and metal than she is of skin and bone. In the shadows, individuals such as this are anything but uncommon, but Gloria's cyberware is first generation, all of it. Bulky, invasive, practically museum pieces. This chrome was obsolete well before she was born. Hello? Gloria shifts her gaze to you, but her expression is as cool and placid as always. Can I help you? I'm gonna say, hey Gloria, how are you holding up? Don't worry about me. I'm solid. If you say you're good, you're good. I trust you. Gloria's expression remains neutral, but she grants you a barely imperceptible nod. I'm gonna go and ask her a personal question. I'm not big on sharing, sport. Personal reasons. You understand, I'm sure. The edge of her voice tells you that she's not interested in continuing this conversation. Of course, we'll all have our secrets, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here. Well, that was not very invigorating conversation. Let's go talk to him, see if there's anything else he has to tell me about this dude that we're gonna go see. Holo. Holo. Amsel peers at you apprehensively. His eyes are bloodshot, his expression grim. Did you get the information about Green Winters? No, not yet. Then please, continue working. We need to find that man. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna head out. Let's go this way. I'm guessing this is the way that we need to go. Yep, there's the red, or yellow. Red? I'm not that colorblind. Gold, or yellow, exit. Oh, there's a lot more people to talk to. This is a pretty large area, cool. They did a good job with the design of it. It looks very nice. I'm impressed. Let's talk to Malit Huli. The dwarvish tech vendor smiles at you with practiced ease, from her almond eyes twinkling with the glare from a dozen trid screens. She speaks in a clipped, heavily accented German. Welcome to the Data Haven. Can I help you with something? Or, welcome to the Data Haven. Can I help you with something? I guess would be more accurate. We're gonna go with I need some tech and I'm on a tight schedule. Show me what you got. Oh, okay, so this is like for Decker. Which our Decker died, so that kinda sucks. Hopefully we'll get another one. Oh, there's some armor. Don't need that though. So I'm good on that. Don't need any tech equipment. I'm gonna go ahead and run around a little bit, see what I can see. Lane, Ubon. Donations for the soup kitchen have slowed. Samuel, sigh. I'm not surprised. Altruism also often comes with an expiration date. Wonder if I can help Samuel. At the sound of your approach, the orc turns to face you. He wears a severe expression, but there is kindness in his eyes. Guten Tag, elf. Can I help you with something? I couldn't help overhearing your conversation. I take it that you run a charity of some sort? He nods. Yes, it isn't much, but we do what we can. Such as? Give me specifics. He clears his throat, then begins to count off on his fingers. In the past several years, I have established a shelter for where the dispossessed, there's words and I can read them, dispossessed can sleep, a soup kitchen to feed the hungry, and a library for the people of the Cruise Bazaar to better themselves. It isn't much, I admit, but it is a start. A good start, Samuel. You mustn't be so hard on yourself. There are limits to what one man, even a determined man, can accomplish. That was a volunteer worker, by the way, who said that. Some random, this person, I'm guessing. This is true. He nods to the orc at his side. Thankfully, some of the residents that I've helped over the years have come back around to help me. I've got 15 assorted orcs and trolls from all around the Cruise Bazaar working with me now. They help me man the soup line, stock the library shelves, and to do all of the hundreds of other little things that a community organization needs done every day. These extraordinary individuals are living proof that what we do here has value. They are my inspiration to continue forward. She beams at the compliment. From her body language, it's clear that she idolizes Beckenbauer. Now, do you have any more questions? If not, I will bid you good day. I don't wish to sound self-important or rude, but there are many pressing matters that demand my time. I'm going to ask him if other races are welcome within his organization. That's taking a rather narrow view of what we do. Yes, it is true that my assistants are all members of the goblinoid races. It is also true that before they accepted my help, they were thieves, gangers, and deadbeats. This is not because they were dead people, or bad people. Obviously they weren't dead. This is because those of us with goblinoid traits are feared, mistreated, and denied gainful employment by a society that hates us. I hire only goblinoids because mainstream human society has created a need for me to hire only goblinoids. The orcs and trolls of the Cruise Bazaar deserve a workplace where they will be treated with dignity and respect. All that being said, our services are available to all. We wouldn't turn a desperate person away, regardless of that person's metatype. Even humans, the most privileged of all races, are welcome at our door. Isn't that what's most important? Metatype, by the way, is your race, which you probably figured out. But orcs, trolls, dwarves, human, elf, those are all metatype. Use of exclusionary language is telling. Even humans are allowed. Or I'll reserve judgment. Or I can agree with him. He is feeling a vital need, but I really don't like the ways that even humans. But I'm going to go ahead and... I don't want to make him angry. He nods slightly. Thank you for saying so. Now, is there something else that you'd like to talk about? I'd like to talk about your organization. Are you accepting donations? Yes, of course. We're actually desperate for them, truth be told. People seem more intent on taking care of themselves than they are on providing for the less fortunate. Of course, these concepts are not unrelated. As poverty rates increase, so does the crime rate. Assisting the needy increases the quality of life for all. In any event, our shelter has some basic needs that desperately need to be filled. The walls of the shelter are not insulated, and new blankets would go a long way toward keeping our guests healthy and comfortable. Ideally, we'd like to purchase some space heaters as well. With 250 nuyen, we could make the purchase. Whatever you could spare would be most appreciated. I'm going to go ahead and just give him all of it, because why not? Samuel's eyes widen. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, mein Freund. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. With this donation, we have reached our first goal. Thank you so much for your kind assistance. I will put your contribution to work stocking the shelter with blankets and heaters. Not a problem. Please, do not downplay your contribution. You have shown kindness at a time when few others will. That means something. It means a great deal. I'm going to ask him to do something donations again. Not just at the moment, friend. I'm still working on putting the money that you've already donated to good use. Give us some time, and we will set a new goal. But for now, spend your nuyen on yourself. You deserve it. Talk about something else, and then no questions. We're just passing by. Talk to Lane. We're approaching the end of the video. I know this one's been a lot of talking. I'm going to try and upload an extra video this week on Saturday. Normally I only upload these videos... no, actually, it should go up on Saturday. You're going to get one on Saturday. So... Wait, no, today's Friday. Yeah, normally you wouldn't get one on Saturday. I'm going to try. Can't guarantee anything, but I'm going to try. Before you stands a troll, though it is a stretch to say he is standing at all. His great mass is barely held upright by two vintage prosthetic legs, along with a crutch under one arm. His body clicks and hums with every shift of his weight. Despite these disabilities, his eyes are sharp and calculating. I know you. Or actually, I guess it would be a really deep voice. I know you. He's a troll, after all. I'm going to try and do that better next time. If you know Monica. Sure, I know Monica. You one of hers, then? I'm doing kind of Dietrich voice there. I'm going to go with... I'm Holo, by the way. Good to meet you. Holo. Name's Alexi Lane. What's your place in the Cruise Bazaar? No place, really. Just an old relic rusting away. There's something you should know about Monica. I hate to be the one to break this bad news. Something happened to her on the run. How'd you know? It was written all over your face. There we go, that was pretty good. It was written all over your face. I had a feeling. Besides, Monica almost always comes around after a run to check on everybody. She's long overdue, and now here you are in her place. So she's either severely wounded or outright dead. Which is it? Dead. The grizzled Troll nods grimly. The servos in his prosthetics complain as he lets loose a heavy sigh. Now, that is a shame. She was a heck of a runner. That one. And a good friend. I'll leave you be. Ah, that sucks. Let's see, is there anything around here? What's she doing? I bet she's selling something. I'm looking for somebody who is selling him a melee weapon, for the record. That's what I'm trying to find here. Warming herself in the dim light of a dying street lamp is a waif of a girl who looks far too worn for her years. The Mother Superior, she says there will be 7 for me to care for. I need to see to them. 7 what? What do you have to take care for? The captain's children. The Mother Superior says there are 7. She says I'm to be governess of the children. Oh. You notice a chipjack poking out beneath the young woman's unruly hair. The vacant look in her eyes marks her as a likely BTL junkie, lost between reality and any number of better-than-life virtual constructs. So, better-than-life are like virtual reality that is super addicting. They're basically the mods of the Shadowrun, or the cocaine of the Shadowrun future. I mean, people get lost in these things, and they waste away into nothing. They don't eat, they don't sleep, and they just fall apart. I need money to get back to them. This story sounds familiar. Captain Von Trapp is very well known and respected. The poor dear lost his wife, and their children, their mother. A child should not be without a mother, and a mother should not be without a child. Have you seen the captain? Look, do you know Monica? Monica? Is she one of the sisters at the Abbey? No, wait. Monica. A flicker of recognition fights through the haze in the young woman's eyes. Yes, Monica. She's good to me, brings me food to eat, and tea to drink. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Despite the woman's persistent delirium, she seems to glean meaning from your tone. She died? While working a job. Yeah. I'm sorry she did. Actually, something to go with. The girl grips her head with claw-like hands, tugging at her hair as if she might pull her brain out through her skull. I don't like this, but I can't switch it off. Wow, she's talking about real life. Yeah, that's pretty common for a BTL junkie. They want so much to just exist in that fake reality that they want to shut off life. The girl's frail body shudders and her eyes grow large, but she does not sob. Instead, she smiles, a sad smile, which looks to have been worn all too often. She will go to heaven, she told me. It's a place for good people, stillborn babies, and childhood pets, and she was a good person. The girl then begins to mumble to herself, while fingering the hair that covers the jack in her head. I'm going to step away now. Yes, good. I need to rejoin the children. I wish I could bring her food and stuff. That would be cool. Phone ringing. We're gonna do this. This will be the last thing that we interact with. Let's see what's the phone booth got to tell us. It's an old, obsolete phone booth. It's ringing. We're gonna pick up the receiver. A monotone, pitch-adjusted voice begins speaking almost immediately. The Shockwellenwriters contract for this keys is no more. Holo is listed as a follow-up contact. This is our only secured line to this keys. Please listen to the following instructions carefully if you are a supporter of our cause. This is a recorded message, so I can't really... Yeah. We have phone booths in strategic locations throughout the city. Within each one, you may find a request posted for specific information. If you can obtain a copy of this information, return here and submit it via the port below the receiver. We will verify the authenticity of the information remotely and post an undoctored copy of it onto the Matrix ourselves. Looks like this has something to do with the flux state, so probably Monica set this up and listed me as the secondary contact. It's our stated goal. for this information to remain free to all. However, you will be compensated for sought-after information returned to this location. The line goes silent. I'll say I can keep an eye out. The line remains silent. Hang up the receiver. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining me throughout this video. I'm going to put this back up a little bit. Thank you for joining me throughout the video. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, please subscribe. The link is below. And feel free to follow the link also included to our Twitch channel and follow us there. We stream every single Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Tonight we just streamed. And this is Thursday, by the way, that I'm recording this. And we played some Borderlands 2. We stream every one of those days, though, from 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. Central Time. So feel free to come join us. If you follow us on Twitch, it will automatically update you whenever you join, or whenever we start up the channel, so you can come join us. We started the channel about 15 minutes early, so you have some time to get in and get situated. But we play different games like Blacklight Retribution, Borderlands 2, Payday 2. We've played some Just Cause 2 multiplayer. We're trying to find some new games, so if you have any suggestions for games to play, leave them below in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for the game upcoming, like how I should spend my skill points or karma or anything like that, let me know down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, though, and you guys all have a great day, good game, and good night.